Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is November 27th, 2011, and you're watching Overgrowth Weekly number 50. And here, as usual, is me, Silverfish, and my fellow co-streamer, Anton.
Hey guys, what's up?
And if they would be able to answer right now, they would probably say Overgrowth Weekly.
OG Weekly into... Okay. I'm gonna stop right now.
OG, that weekly. So what's going on with you, Anton?
Work. Yeah. A lot of work. And that's about it. I had 3 recording sessions this week. Obviously one last Sunday, which made me miss OG Weekly. And then 2 smaller ones during the week, one in Rome and one at my house. And there was a recording session the previous Friday. So since the last time I've talked to you guys, I've been in 4 recording sessions and kind of working around the clock pretty much.
Whoa.
So yeah, it's been crazy.
That's pretty insane. Did you say you had recorded something in Rome?
We had a recording session with people in Rome that we work with a lot, and we sort of did it over the internet, and it was, it was cool, I guess, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I haven't done cool things like that in the previous week.
Well, it's just think of it as just my job. If it's just my job, then going to school is your job, and it's just as important.
I guess so, but comparing to what you did, I mean, I programmed a tower defense game. Yeah, that's what I did.
That's all right. I love tower defense games.
That's good. Maybe I'll send it to you, and you can play it when you're on your Windows partition or Windows install.
Yeah, I would do that. Although that those sectors of my hard drive are gathering dust, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways,
so, they're asking for a beta in the chat. You better comply.
Of the tower defense game.
Of course.
Well, I think it's kinda in alpha now, and it'll probably stay in alpha forever.
Oh no!
But if you guys want to alpha test my lively builds, I guess I release 1 build every lifetime.
Well, you have at least 4 more people. Oh, 3 people, and someone has repeated the same thing 3 times.
It's so funny because the game is super lame. But yeah,
isn't that the point of tower defense games? I mean, really, they're kind of lame, but they're fun.
Yeah, I guess so. And actually, the game has quite an amount of modability, since you can make your own levels and you can make your own enemies and your own waves. So you can do a lot like that, but yeah, it's not anything. The enemies are boxes and your towers are differently colored circles, for instance, and the background is gray and their path is black.
Well,
it's advanced graphics.
Advanced graphics are the easy part. Admit it.
No.
Sure they are. You just all that you do now that you have the working game mechanics, you just get some artists to make some pretty black pathways and pretty boxes and circles, and then you're good.
Yeah, they can put in the graphic that I use into Photoshop and then use bevel on it or something. And
totally.
It'll be great. I don't know how to do that, so
right.
This will be great.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that game, you won't see that game because it sucks. I'm going to say it right away. If I was the PR department for my game right now, I would be very bad, but I'm not, so I can say that it sucks. I hate my tower defense. God. Yeah. enough about crappy games that barely exist at all. We should probably get on with some more important games.
Excellent.
Nice. Okay, so there's this game called Overgrowth, or so I've heard. And apparently, I make a show every week or something like that. And also, apparently, they released alphas every week.
Amazing. It's
Yeah.
like they're coordinated or something.
Yeah, and so I think I'm supposed to check out this latest alpha changelog and tell you guys what's going on here. So
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like fun. Oh, what do you know? There's a
Checkbox.
checkbox. Okay. Oh yeah, checkboxes. Thank you for reminding me. Checkbox.
Of course.
Nice. Thanks, learn_more for making checkbox. And another checkbox. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this week was pretty cool. Since
This week was awesome.
yeah, since they added the parameters that you love.
I do. I'm just gonna go out there and say this. We've seen a few weeks of bug fixes, which have felt sort of unimportant to people, and then this week came along, and David added a huge and important element of the game, and a few people, both in the comments and in the forums, said, "Oh, it's another boring alpha." But I totally disagree. I think this alpha is like a huge game-changing event. Really, like this is literally both really that the game has changed now, and then also that it's such a huge improvement now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's awesome.
It's
I'm
super cool.
really excited about it. Oh yeah, not allowed to say that.
They're very
So
hard rules here. Yeah. So we have the as we're talking about the parameters, and as you said, they're really cool. And that's the biggest change this week. There are a lot of these things are actually related to the parameters. So they added the parameters to hotspots and added parameter editor UI. So you have a user interface where you can actually change the parameters. And I'm going to see if I can actually do some parameter editing here. I'm going to remove these enemies because I hate bunnies.
bunny hater.
Yeah. And then let's add a little hotspot display text. Do you actually remember which button to press to bring up the UI?
It's you.
It's you, as in UI. I see. Display text.
Exactly.
So you just select the hotspot and then you can change the parameter. I'm going to change that to Overgrowth Weekly. Yay! That's all. All right. And then I'm going to run into it. And there you go, Overgrowth Weekly.
Hooray!
And then you can also add new parameters. Oh yeah. Double click to rename. Can I double? Oh yeah. Okay. So apparently you can even add the parameters can be like arbitrary, or does that make sense to say it like that? So if you make an entity, you don't need to have you can like add other parameters that can change whatever. So that if there might be parameters that are there for a lot of different objects, but they aren't visible here. So then you add a new parameter and you change its name to whichever parameter you want to change, and then you enter the value and it should work.
Exactly. So I mean, this becomes incredibly important. As long as you create a parameter that exists, you should be able to modify it. So
yeah, so it's great, really great.
yes, it's fantastic.
Fantastic.
And radical.
Yes, it's most of all it's radical. I like that word. It's a nice word.
Exactly.
So that's the UI and the parameters for the hotspots. And of course modders can use this as well for their scripting. So if you do modding and that kind of stuff, you can now make very flexible setups with the hotspots.
Yep.
Added reset level, display text, and load level hotspots. So you can now actually use hotspots to reset levels, and the display text one was the one I used. And you can also load levels using hotspots.
And that particular load level hotspot is actually really great. One thing that it does is it allows you to load levels outside of the main level folder, which is something that we had problems doing before. So now you could you actually don't have to store, like if you were to create a campaign, you would be able to keep all of your custom levels inside the custom folder inside your own campaign editor, and you could make it then a single installation of that folder as opposed to needing to add things to every folder within the game. So this is hugely important for modding, that you can access files outside of their normal editor, outside of the default locations.
Yes.
It's a big deal, I think. So.
Yes, absolutely. It's just really great. Let's go back to this. Yeah, so you have these ones set up here right now, but of course you can add your own ones, as I said. So that's really great. Next we have fixed crash on a load level script command. That's good. Fix the crash when you use the load level script command. It's a command you can use when you're scripting for Overgrowth, and apparently it could cause crashes. It has been known to actually be not very stable when you change levels, so yeah.
Yep.
It's good.
This will be better.
Yep. Next we have fixed crash with the single object imposters. The imposters are the objects that are like you have the trees, for instance, in some levels. They are actually groups of objects. They're like a tree body, and then you have the different branches are actually individual models, and then you can select all of those and make that into imposter, and that will generate single like images from different directions of the object group even. And that way you can have like a whole tree being rendered as one single plane, one single image when you're far away enough.
Right. It's sort of a form of level of detail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And apparently there was a crash when you didn't have several objects. When you just had one object in your imposter, the game could crash apparently, and that's fixed now.
Excellent.
Yep. Fixed hotspot undo/redo. That's great. To have the undo/redo stuff actually work as intended is, in my opinion, quite important. So that's good to see.
Right.
Next we have fixed hotspots sticking to the ground. Have you experienced this when making hotspots?
Yeah, a long time ago. I mean, sort of before David came back and started working on this again, there would be hotspots that if you, like you clicked it on the ground and then you raised it up off the ground, the hotspot would still remain on the ground and not within the bounding box or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's fixed now.
Exactly.
So that's good.
Yeah.
It's great, and that's the end of the changelog. But as you said in the beginning, the parameters are huge, especially to modders. And yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say also to just the game in general. I mean, really, what this will do is it will let us create full levels that let us modify any aspect of any object, so we don't have to create individual objects for every purpose. So it will still, it will allow us to create better levels without having to create a bunch of arbitrary items. So you could actually have one box, and with parameters you could have different different detail maps, different images. If you wanted to have, something on it, you could use like one box and just have different images, and then you could just change it using parameters. Or for me with music, if I can add a music parameter to an object, that would make that object have music at some point in the future, would make it more interactive. So I mean, there's a lot of possibilities with parameters, I think, that could be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Like
so
what you said about the sound, for instance, right now they have individual objects that are the sounds that you place, and that's actually not very intuitive at all. It makes more sense to just have a sound or music object or whatever, and then you place it, and then you tell the object itself which sound file you want it to play, and maybe at what interval, at what volume, and stuff like that.
Totally. So parameters, I think, are going to be very useful, and I think even adding parameters to the basic level should be interesting. What's the ambient sound supposed to be? What's the skybox supposed to be? What is the ground supposed to be? It actually would let you edit an entire level using parameters from within the game, and I think that will be really a very cool way to work. The more that you can work with inside the game and see the results instantly, the more intuitive to create levels, both for the actual game designers and for modders, will be. So it's really, I think, a big step forward seeing parameters being used in the game.
Yep, I agree. So hopefully we can see an as cool alpha next week. And yeah, looking forward to that.
For sure.
So that's the weekly alpha for this week, alpha 158. Next we go into the community segment, where we take a look at what the community's been up to. We have a bit of community stuff in the community side note segment, but the only thing in the community segment this week is the fan art watch, wherein we take a look at what's new in the fan art thread on the Wolfeye forums. So this week, start out with this image. Like last week, Shiny Gem is the main contributor. And this is the first image that he has for us this week. It's Horsey Horse, going with the previous naming scheme, which is good, with the Batty Bat and the Doggy Dog and so on.
Yes.
And I have to say, this image, I really like a lot of things about it. I like the coloring. I think the coloring is really great. It's better than his previous images' coloring.
For sure.
I also like just in general, the coloring and the shading makes it feel much more 3D-like. So it feels very much like he's actually there, which is great.
Right. Definitely some major improvements from previous coloring.
Yeah, and just previous images in general. I have to say that I like this is probably the image that I like most from him so far.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't quite understand the legs. I think that the legs are maybe a little weird, but other than that, I think it's very cool to see. I feel like we've been watching him improve, not even week by week, but day by day. If he's really responding to the comments that he's getting from the other people in the thread. So it's great seeing someone improving and people giving useful comments on his artwork.
Yeah,
so
I agree. And
nice job.
Like you said with the legs, I think the legs are the weakest part of this drawing right now, because the legs just on a horse, they don't really look like that. The joints there in the middle. So I think the advice that I would give is to just look at how legs on animals look in general and try to reproduce that.
Yeah, I would expect the legs to look, more like a satyr's or a centaur or something like that, where I feel like these knees bend backwards compared to where they normally would. would go. So
Yeah.
that's my thought anyway.
I agree. That is kind of weird, but it's a very nice image. So moving on, we have the second image for this week by Shiny Gem. Here we have he has actually left his naming convention here. This image is called Patchy Cat.
Well, I think he had to, because didn't he already have a catty cat?
That is true, yeah. But he could have called it like Catty Cat 2 or something, at least.
I suppose.
Catty Cat Revenge. And let's see. Yeah, so he doesn't really write anything about this, he just posts it. He says he likes the uncolored version better. I personally don't. The thing I don't like about this image, or the thing that I like least about this image, is his hand, his left hand, maybe his right as well, and his arms in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like this image compared to his other ones, his previous ones have almost all of them have had a very good anatomy in general. Maybe just as I said, the legs, but this one seems funky in a lot of places to me.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
But yeah, it's a cool image nonetheless. But I know you can do better than this, Shiny Gem, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, so nice job there. Moving on, we have this image by a hunting dog. He writes, "Yay!" with a million exclamation marks. And
You're exaggerating. That's not a million. That's
true.
That's like 999,000. Come on.
That's true, actually. It's closer to what you said, at least.
I suppose a little.
Yeah. So he made this. My guess is that he made it because today is the 50th episode of Overgrowth Weekly. So of course there has to be something special. I mean, tens are important, I guess.
Yay!
Just 50 more and we're at 100. Oh yeah.
Wow. So.
And the 52nd episode will be the 1 year anniversary, which will be cool.
Correct. Yeah. So we'll. I'm sure we'll try and do something for that. Should be awesome.
It should be insane. So that one was made by Hunting Dog. Let's move on. Next we have another image. Oops, I jumped 2 images there. Let me jump back right there. So this image, another one made by Shiny Gem. He responds to Hunting Dog's image first saying, "Ha, right, it's the 50th episode. Awesome, a calendar." He said the word that cannot be said. But that's fine, I'll forgive you. Then he writes, "And here's Stony Dog. Since dogs have all those stone blunt weapons, they need masons, don't they?" So yeah, Stony Dog, this one is called. And he also writes at the end, "P.S. I know my coloring looks like it took a step back this week." And I have to agree, the coloring on this image isn't as good as on the 2 previous ones from this week, actually. But I like the image, at least. The legs look much better than in the horse image.
Yep. I actually also like the cloak, the way I feel like it definitely wraps around him. You know, it feels like a consistent object.
Yeah.
Although there are no creases in it, it's perfectly flat over his body, which is a little odd. But other than that, I like the way that the cloak wraps around him. So. Yeah,
that's actually an interesting thing to practice doing wrinkles and stuff like that in clothes. It's very, very hard to get right.
For sure, absolutely. I'm not an artist at all, so you know everything I say you have to take with a grain of salt. But that seems like it would be something that could make this cloak feel a little more realistic. Like if I saw wrinkles where his arm is underneath the cloak on the right side and things like that, might really add some depth to the character.
Yeah, I agree. So this image, really nice, made by Shiny Gem, called Stony Dog. Next, we have another image. This one is made by Shiny Gem. He writes, here's a quick drawing I made of a samurai-like rabbit with a standard scarred eye. Head turned out pretty good, though too big in comparison to the body. Yeah, I like this image. It's really cool.
Yeah.
He says the head turned out too big, and yeah, maybe a bit. It doesn't look disproportional to me, but he does look like a kid though. But
Yeah.
I think it looks good nonetheless. Everything looks right to me.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, the left eye, the non-scarred eye, seems a little big to me, maybe, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice. So this one once again made by Shiny Gem, and in the naming he actually did a funny. He called it Samurai, but between the A and the I at the end he had BB in parentheses, and after the I at the end he adds a T in parentheses. So if you read with the parentheses, it's Samurabbit. Without the parentheses, it's Samurai.
Hee.
And then, of course, we have the Walrus Man made by the same guy.
Yay, Shiny Gem, for keeping the fan art thread alive.
Oh yeah, big props to that guy. He writes, Walrus Man. I wanted to do a Manatee Man. Manatee Man? What's that?
Well, a manatee.
Yeah.
You know what a Yeah.
No. I don't know what
okay.
it is.
It's similar to a walrus, but without the tusks. Maybe
okay.
closer to a small whale, kinda. That's not really a very good description. They're other sea mammals, big, sea mammals.
So it's kind of like a seal?
Like a really big seal, kind
Okay.
of. Yeah, if you were to go like halfway between a seal and a whale, they're what fishermen used to confuse for mermaids.
Oh, I see.
Tanjavik says it's a sea cow. So, I mean, the walrus is kind of similar to a manatee in some ways. So.
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to do a manatee manises, but they are restricted to water, which is sad. Walruses, on the other hand, aren't. I gave him a basket because I drew the tissue without thinking, where should he store it before and after using, since he's naked? Then I went, like, WTF, I guess, and gave him a basket. Nice.
Nice.
You can kind of see how the basket is added afterwards because it's darker.
Yep.
But this image, it's nice. I think it's good that he has his weapon in that place. It's very fitting.
Yep. And I like that it has like a bone handle and definitely feels like a cleaver, so.
Yeah. Something you'd use to chop a fish up.
A giant fish.
Yes. Totally. So yeah, this image, once again made by Shiny Gem, and we have a few variations towards the end. Let me just switch to the default view so you can see those as well. So Jack the Awesome added a nice stash there to the to the walrus, which is nice, and then Shiny Gem takes it one step further and adds the top hat.
And goatee.
Nice. Yeah, goatee, of course, yeah. Which is nice. And then, of course, with the top hat and the goatee and all that, we have to have an endo face there.
Yes, indeed.
And the circle was complete. And we actually have one last fan art that was sent to the email, to OG Weekly, to the OG Weekly email, actually, which is... That hasn't happened before, but that's fine. Let's see. There we go. And it's this image. It's made by Eagles fan. I think that's his nickname. He knows who he is if he's reading this. If I call him Eagles fan, at least. if he reads this, if he watches this, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's a collage made by him. He made it for some school stuff apparently, and I think it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Gives you a broad scope of what is in the game, and and also some memes related to the game. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And this is all art made by Wolfire's artist Aubrey Sir. So yeah, it's really cool. Nice collage. Well done. Eagles fan.
Nice.
Okay, someone's telling me to go to the fan art page and refresh, so I'm going to do that.
Careful. Yeah.
Careful. Don't worry, I got this. Okay. Switch to that, and there we go. Cat. King_Pancake gave us this cat, and for that we thank him.
Thank you.
Thank you, King Pancake. Did I ask for a cat? Maybe I did.
Well, I think we were talking about a catty cat.
Oh yeah, Catty
Right.
Cat. Yeah. So this is our Catty Cat. Catty Cat 2, The Revenge.
Oh, no.
No?
I don't know. He just said no in the chat, so
Well, it's nice nonetheless.
it is
cute.
nice nonetheless. I like that his head looks so perfectly round.
I like how his face isn't totally aligned with itself.
But that's just natural.
Well, to a certain extent. He went too far, Anton.
No, it's perfect and beautiful.
/ cry. Well, it's nice. Thanks, King Pancake. It's always nice
Awesome.
to see these rushed images during the show.
I love him.
So that's the end of the fan art watch and the end of the community segments. So let's move on to the community side notes. First we have the Blood plus No Death plus Meat Rabbit mod by Last. So Last first released the No Death plus Blood mod, but then someone asked for the Meat Rabbit one as well, so he added that to the download.
Which apparently is actually what took a little more work, because David changed so much of the code that Meat Rabbit was a little more difficult to get back in. So thank you, Last, for taking the time to really go in and dive into the code like that.
Yeah, he's such a cool guy. So this mod now adds the ability for you to have more blood in the game, make yourself invincible, and have a meat rabbit in the game. So this is the biggest mod out right now, I think.
Biggest and certainly the longest running.
Yeah, absolutely. Next we have the Cat Tower preview by Last. So Last made something else as well. Like, I mean, he has been doing updating the blood mod and upgrading and making that better and just updating it. But then he always does something else as well almost every week, which is really cool. So this week we have a preview of a project that he's working on.
Mm.
It is a let's see, it's this image right here. So this image made by Aubrey. He took that and made it into a level, and that's this here.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. I have seen. Did he make the other ones that were made from concept art as well?
He did. He did.
Cool. It's really cool to see this, because it's kind of... Well, we know you'll probably make something like this, Mr. Aubrey, but I just can't wait, so I'm gonna make it myself right now. Which I like.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the community implementing stuff into the game before the developers do. I think that's really cool.
For sure.
So yeah, nice job. I hope we can play this level perhaps next week. That would be cool.
Every time that Last gives us a little preview, we tend to see it fairly soon afterwards. So I think we will see it soon.
Yeah. So nice. Well done by Last. Let's move on. Next we have, of course, the script dump by learn_more, the same guy who made the script for me to have these checkboxes. So double thanks go out to him. Yes.
Learn more. Oh.
Please do. Learn more. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I know that he, I think that his Angel script dumps are pretty awesome, and I always feel bad that I don't know how to use them. Mm-hmm. that I'm not a script modder, but I think what he does is great, and probably once we see people really scripting a lot, they'll be incredibly useful. So
yeah, I agree. I don't script a lot because I'm often busy doing other things with the school and such. But when I do, I always download the latest script dump for the current alpha and use it because it's so useful when you want to do something. Because there's no way you can know what you can do by just looking at the current code, because you just need somewhere where you can look at, okay, what can I actually do with this? So this is really useful.
Yep. So
this is like a what's it called? Like dictionary, like what's that called? For these kinds of things?
I guess a dictionary or a library or an encyclopedia. I don't know.
Encyclopedia or something. I think encyclopedia was what I was looking for. Well, anyways, it's like a listing of all the things you can do when you're scripting for Overgrowth, so it's really great.
Right.
And Last in the chat just added that you can also turn off all blood in the game using his blood mod, actually, which is really useful if the game isn't running super fast for you when you hit someone with a sword or something. I know some people have gotten their games to run much faster when using weapons that make blood happen. So that's really great. If you can use the bloody weapons. And that's the end of the community side note segment. And that brings us into the news segment, where we take a look at what's new. Duh. Why would you even ask? So, in case you've missed this, the Humble Introversion Bundle has been released. And yeah, the Humble Bundle team is really working hard to get many bundles out, it would seem.
Yeah, for sure.
And in this one, you have a lot of games. Let's see, you have Uplink, Darwinia, Defcon, Multiwinia, and if you pay more than the average, you get Aquaria and Crayon Physics Deluxe. Also, you get these bonus prototypes that aren't really games, but they're cool things. The city generator that was supposed to be in Subversion, and a voxel tech demo. Have you played any of these games?
I have played Darwinia and Multiwinia, and I got about halfway through the DEF CON tutorial. So yes.
So what do you have to say about them?
Well, I think they're very kind of clever games. It took a little while for me to get used to their sort of controls in the games. And then also I played them out of order by mistake. I actually played Multiwinia before I played Darwinia, which was maybe a mistake because I didn't really understand why I was going to war with these little creatures. and once I saw them, once I played Darwinia, I started to understand a lot more, and then I, of course, have not had time to go back to Multiwinia. So I think they're fun. The graphic style is very kind of cool and unique, but then it takes a little while for me to get sort of used to it, was sort of what I saw happen. So
yeah, Darwinia is a pretty old game, actually. So I think the graphics are excusable, and also I think it works still, even though the graphics are kind of old school.
Yeah, well, I thought it was sort of a design choice, which I'm assuming it still is. And so I don't think that in that case, the graphic quality has not really degraded over time because that was still the look they were going for, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a pixelated 3D world somehow. It's really cool anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I played Darwinia, I think a little bit of Multiwinia, and the demo of Uplink some time ago. I haven't played them since I bought the bundle though. But yeah, they're great games from what I played.
I think it's cool, you know. So
yeah, and I'm looking forward to playing around with the tech demo for the Voxels and the city generator as well. That's going to be nice.
Yes. Well, the city, what is it? The city creator, the thing from Subversion that was never released. That is pretty awesome, I must say.
Mm-hmm. It's worthy of the forbidden word, you say?
It is forbidden of the worthy of the forbidden word. Man, I'm having a hard time talking today. I'm thinking about a million things. So,
well, anyways, yeah, this is really great. The alpha is going to last for 9 more days, and there are a total of 127,000 purchases so far, which is nice. Nosh hasn't bought it yet, apparently.
I know, I saw that. Maybe he spent all of his money on the indie music bundle.
Yeah, maybe he did. Did he buy that, by the way?
You can't tell, unfortunately.
Oh.
So, but you should go buy that if you haven't already. The indie music, I think it's indie music or musicbundle.com or indiemusicbundle.com. You get 10 soundtracks to games.
I think
and
game music bundle. Yeah.
Game music bundle, is that what it is?
Yeah.
We should find out what that link is. Yes, game music bundle. But yeah, 10 games if you buy it for less than $10, and if you buy more than $10, you get 17 soundtracks. And yeah, George Ziov in the chat just said, "Oh yeah, I heard about that," which is funny because he actually has music in that bundle.
So which ones did it make?
Well, he actually did George is the guy you may remember did that awesome Day of Overgrowth rock song. So he actually released an album of covers of different indie game songs, and he actually released one on Super Meat Boy, and his cover is in the Super Meat Boy soundtrack. So
cool.
Yeah, exactly. So totally worth going to buy. So I actually think he's releasing a new album soon too. So there's a free plug for you, George. Hope you're happy.
Nice. Yeah, so I might check this out. This is now I'm talking too quickly, and this isn't related at all in reality to Wolfire, but it's still cool that people are doing these bundle things, I think.
Yeah.
Even though I guess things aren't going to charity, etc., but
no, but in some ways, having the music always donated as part of other bundles, it's awesome for the musicians to get it out there, but a lot of these guys have worked for free, done it takes a lot of work to release music, and so to see them sort of making some money back on their investment is pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I have nothing against people getting money for their work. It's not like that, but it's really hard to be better than the original Humble Indie Bundle. That's just the way it is.
I don't think this is trying to beat that by any means. So.
that is the case, of course. But since it is a bundle that has to do with games, where you can pay what you want, it's like they did get it from somewhere. So I feel like I need to compare them, even though they're selling different things. But yeah, anyways, I hope that makes sense at least.
It does, and I'm actually really excited about it. I think all of these composers and songwriters have put together something very nice. So
yeah,
it's cool. Yeah,
totally. And a shout out to Gaw Whisper, who apparently walked 1 kilometer in a t-shirt in the coldness just to watch Overgrowth Weekly. Such a champ.
Nice, way to go.
Yeah, nice job. Okay, so talking about the Humble Bundle,
yes,
we have actually 2 Humble Introversion Bundle keys to give away.
Yay! Thanks again, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff is a sport and keeps helping us, give away some games.
Yeah, he's super duper awesome, as he always is. So nothing's gonna change there, it seems like.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to give these away actually this episode, like right now. So if you know a few things, you might get a key.
Perfect.
So how we're going to do this is we have 2 questions, 1 question for each alpha, or what am I saying? 1 question for each key, I should say. And the first one to answer the question correctly will get the key. And before I start saying the question on the stream, I will post the question in the chat, and after I've posted the question, the first answer will get the key. But you don't leave right away, because you'll need to give me like an email somehow. We need to coordinate that. So it would be good if you could stay as well. So should you get 1 question and I get the other one then?
Sure.
We'll take them one at a time though. I'll send you this one so you know exactly the question.
Okay, cool.
I'll post that in the chat right as you start saying the question.
Okay. Should I start with that one first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to do some Overgrowth trivia questions. So our first trivia question for the day is, who is the person that actually programmed the original tool set for Overgrowth?
And we're getting questions. Or answers.
Oh.
And we have a winner. So first we had Jeff, and then someone said screw it or something. And then we have Tanjavik, who said the correct answer, which is
Philip Sola. And also tomorrow is Philip's birthday. So happy birthday, Philip. We miss you.
Yay, happy birthday, Philip. Boo, you're not here right now.
Yeah, MIT stole you away from us, but we still miss you.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So congratulations, Tanjavik. Well, we pretty much know you, so just send an email to OG Weekly and we'll send the stuff to you. Unless you have a email or something, we'll figure it out. But
yeah, I can just IM him in chat in IRC.
Yeah, that'll work too.
So
okay, it's question number 2 for the second key. Is as follows. Are you guys ready for this? What date was the first alpha released? We're looking for both the year, month, and the actual date. So the whole thing.
Yep.
So we're getting 2009. No, that's a bit too vague. 1st of April. Not really. No. We have 2009, 14, 20, which is not correct either. So you're going to have to.
You're gonna
that is
have
too
to
hard.
actually...
You can look it up on the blog. That's the thing about it. If you're quick enough.
Exactly.
So how long do you think it'll take for people to look it up?
Probably not too long, I should hope. It didn't...
So we have 17th September 2008. I don't think that is correct, actually. No,
that is not correct.
not from what I saw. No, actually that is not correct. We have 23rd of February 2009, which is not correct either. 3rd January, 4th January, December 1st 2008, 16th of August 2011. I think that's incorrect, quite incorrect.
Since we're at like 158. Oh.
It's weird how close people are. We have 29th of November 2008, which is incorrect as well. November 2nd 2008, which is also incorrect. 53rd of May, January 2026. Goodness me. Go Whisper with the answer 25th of November 2008 is the winner. That is the date of the first alpha.
Nice.
A key moment in Wolfire and Overgrowth history.
And yeah, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, so congratulations, Go Whisper.
So yeah, nice job. It's kind of funny. I don't know if you guys remember back to that day when to make it so that Wolfire would release the Overgrowth alpha. They said we are going to run a contest as well to see how quickly we can reach a certain number of followers on Facebook. And I believe that the number was either 100 or 500 or something. And, you know, they thought that number of, I think it was 500 followers on Facebook would be huge. And, you know, and so they were like, this will take a while. We have some time. And it was only like 3 or 4 days before they actually, hit 500 fans.
Yeah.
So it was actually, they were surprised to see how many people were really excited to get their hands on this game right from the start. I know that I signed up for Facebook for that very reason. As well as I know many other people did as well. So,
yeah, like I signed up for Reddit just to like upvote their posts on Reddit. Yeah,
nice.
It was like a time there when Wolfire were like, everyone who wants to sign up here, and upvote our stuff, or you know, basically like that. And of course, everyone who's a fan of Wolfire and Overgrowth did just that, which is really cool. It's, you know, it helps spread the word, especially in the beginning.
For sure. Yep. They now have sort of become, you know, they still can use you guys to spread the word, but it certainly has much more saturation than it did when we first started almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
but there's still like a lot of people who don't even know what Overgrowth is on the internet right now.
It's true. We only have 13,000 plus registered pre-orderers in the forums, so clearly not enough of you have been spreading the word to your other 50,000 friends. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, if you do any like cool promotions or anything like that, make sure to post about it on the Wolfire forums or on the SPF or whatever, because you know, we can tell you how cool and good you are, and also people get inspired to do the same thing, and we'll be able to spread the word. It'll be super great.
Yep.
It'll be copacetic.
Awesome. I keep saying it. By the way, you missed a tweet this week.
Oh, did I? Oh, right, I did. That's entirely correct.
After we made such a big deal out of it, you should go and talk about this tweet.
Yes, let's see. That's what I'm bringing up. Added some character parameters to control their fighting style, skill level, and physical strength and speed.
So, this was what we were talking about, how important parameters were going to be to the game. and there it is, the first set of parameters that will really change the game. You could fighting style, I'm not quite sure how that will work. We'll have to see if there's some sort of sets, but having a weak wolf, you could fight against, or you could have a really strong rabbit. Suddenly now you have a lot more parameters that you can adjust and make levels, easier to begin with and harder as you progress. So, yeah, parameters are going to be awesome, and there are our first batches.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yes,
it really is. It's so important. We've talked about it before. So yeah, we'll be keeping an eye out on the tweet side, and congratulations once again to Tanjevik and Whisper for winning those keys, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to answer one more question.
Oh?
Kurt in IRC had a question about parameters, and yes, it's a per instance of each object. So right now you can add as many. Right now it only works with hotspots in the current alpha, although in the upcoming alpha, which will be released in approximately 12 hours, you can actually edit them on characters. So you could have multiple characters within one level. They could all be the same physical object, meaning the same enemy, but each one could have a different set of parameters to make them behave differently and be easier or more difficult to fight. So it will be awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I was... Yeah, it will be awesome. It really will be. When they start hooking it up to normal objects, yeah, that'll be great. Not just hotspots.
Yeah. God Whisper, are you in the an IRC? Or send us, God Whisper, send us an email for at ogweekly@gmail.com, and we'll send you your key.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the end of the show, right?
That's the end of the show.
Nice. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Tune in, don't forget, every Sunday we go live at it's at 9 Swedish time. It's in the Sunday morning in America, I think. You can see the countdown at the top of the page if you just go to ogweekly.com. And there as well you have a link to the YouTube channel where we have all the archives. Actually, you don't need to go there anymore even. This is so great. We have the archives right here. Oh man, this is so great. And you can see the agenda and everything. Oh my god, okay. See you guys next week.
See you guys. Thanks.